Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Juan the Yarn Addict, and today I present a crochet tutorial for what I'm calling the Summer Petals Shawl. It features a 2-row repeat that can be worked up to any size you'd like. We construct this shawl from one side clear on over to the other side. We begin in the far corner right here, and we go back and forth with our 2-row repeat until we achieve our desired size, which is over here. Once we've achieved our desired size, we go on to create this border, and we go all the way around the perimeter of our shawl. Very simple and easy stitches. For this shawl, I used Red Heart Super Saver Ombre and the colorway light blue with a 7mm crochet hook. The yarn suggested a 5.5, and once again I went up to a 7 just for added drape, as you can see. For today's tutorial, I will be using a medium 4-weight yarn with a 6.5mm US letter K hook. So here is the yarn and here is the hook. Feel free to use the timestamps as needed to obtain the information in today's tutorial, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this tutorial started. Before we get started, please remember to include the following materials. You're going to need a pair of scissors, a darning needle to sew in your ends, as well as a stitch marker to indicate the increased side of our work. You could also substitute this stitch marker for a piece of yarn if you'd like. So to get started, what we need to do is create a slip knot on our hook. However you do this is absolutely fine. This is how I do it. Once you have your slip knot established, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. From here, we're going to work 3 stitches in this very first chain. So in this chain, we're going to work a single, a double, and a treble. So let's go right in. Draw up a loop, yarn over, and go through 2. And then we're going to go back into that chain with a double. So we're going to yarn over, go into the chain, draw a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And from here, we're going to include a treble. So we're going to yarn over twice, go into that same chain, draw up a loop. You have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. So this is the first row, which is not an increase row. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to place my stitch marker in our jug handle here. So we have a series of chains here. We're going to increase on this side. So just to help me remember, I'm going to place my stitch marker around those chains, just like that. Okay. So from here, we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And turn our work for row number 2. Row number 2 is our increase row. So I'm going to go into our single crochet. I'm going to remove this stitch marker right now. So I'm going to go into the single crochet. If you can see here, we have 3 stitches. So skip, skip, and this is our single crochet. So we're going to insert a single in the single. So we're going to go into that stitch with a single crochet. We're going to go back into that stitch with a double and a treble. 1, 2, and 3, just like that. From here, we're going to go right into our jug handle with an increase with the same stitch sequence. A single, a double, and a treble. From here, we're going to chain 3 and turn our work for row number 3. And I'm going to go right into that single crochet. So skip, skip, and there's the single. So I'm going to place a single crochet right into that single there, and then go in with a double, and then back in with a treble. And before I go any further, I'm going to place the stitch marker right into my jug handle here, just to remind me that this is the side we do our increases on, just like that. There we go, perfect. So from here, we are going to look at our stitches, skip, skip, and go right into that single crochet. And if you notice, the single crochets have 2 little legs. You're just going to insert your hook into the head of that stitch insert a single into the single, and then go back in with a double, and then in once more with a treble. 1, 2, and 3. So the stitch marker's on this side, not this side. So we're not going to go into this jug handle here. We're going to chain 3 and turn our work and go right into that single. So skip, skip, go right into this single here with a single crochet. And then back in with a double, yarn over twice and go back in with a treble. 1, 2, and 3. From here, we're going to skip, skip, and go right into that single right there with a single, a double, and a treble. 1, 2, and 3. And here we're at the jug handle. This is where we're going to do our increase. We're going to go right into that chain space with a single, a double, and a treble. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to chain 3 once more, turn our work, and go into our single with the single. And then back in with a double. And then once again back in with a treble. I'm going to leave the stitch marker on this side. I'm not going to necessarily bring it with me every single time I increase. But once it gets far enough down our work, then I'll move it up. But yeah, so from here, we're just going to jump over, skip, skip, go into that single crochet with a single, and then back in with a double, and then back in with a treble. And then skip, skip, go into our single with a single, and then a double, and then a treble. This is a very, very easy pattern. And it creates this wonderful border here on the non-increase side. And this is the side that's going to go around our neck, right here. So from here, we're going to, once again, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to turn our work. And we're going to skip, skip, and go right into the single with a single. And then back in with a double. And then yarn over twice and go back in with a treble. 1, 2, and 3. Skip, skip, go right into the single with a single. Go back in with a double. Yarn over twice and go back in with a treble. Skip, skip. We're going to go right into that single with a single. And then once again with a double. And then once more for a treble. 1, 2, and 3. This is our increase side. So we are looking at the chain space right after. And if you get lost, just remember the single had 2 legs. So we're going right to the other side of the leg. Right there. Single, double, yarn over twice, and go in with a treble. And as you can see, we're off. So the non-increase side has this wonderful scalloped border here, and then this side here, for the most part, is pretty straight. So I'm going to do several more rows off camera to just show you what this looks like on a larger scale, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I'm back. I've crocheted several additional rows here, and this is what it looks like. And I'm just going to make a bunny ear here and show you what the work looks like on the side. And this is what it looks like. Very, very nice. I love the pattern in this. And as you can see, our increase side has created a straight edge of sorts. It is bowed. It's perfectly normal for that to happen. This is the part that will go around your neck, and this is the part that will drape down. The non-increase side creates this scalloped border here, which is super nice. And the border that I'm going to place on the project is optional. You don't have to go with it. You can leave it as is if you'd like. You want to make sure that as you work your project that you end on an increase. You want to end up right here, regardless of how big you go. This is where you need to end up, okay? So from here, we're going to include the border. So I'm just going to place the hook back on our work, just like this. And from here, I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to grab my scissors and cut the work just like that and pull the hook away from my work, pinch and pull down, just like that. So from here, I'm going to take my darning needle and I'm going to sew in my ends. So I'm going to sew this end in and this end in. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so the ends are sewn in, as you can see. And from here, we're going to include an optional border only on the 2 sides that come down to a point. So from here, what we're going to do is go back to this corner where we last left off, and we're going to start our border right here. But first, we need to create a slip knot on our hook. Let's go ahead and do that. From here, we're going to go into the head of the very last stitch, just like that. We're going to draw a loop and slip just like this. And very gently, we're going to tug on our working yarn. And from here, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. From here, we're going to turn our work over, and we are looking for the single crochet. So skip, skip, and we're going to go into that single crochet with a single crochet. And from here, we're going to go in with a double crochet and then a double crochet. So no trebles. So single, double, double. And from here, we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to hop on over to the next single crochet. So skip, skip, single crochet right there. We're going to place a single in the single, and then a double, and then a double. Chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And skip, skip, come to the next single crochet with a single. And that's the repeat. Single, double, double, chain 3. So continue doing that, and I will meet you down here at the point in just a moment. Okay, so I've made it to the point, and this is what our work looks like so far. Let me just flatten it out and show you. Very, very nice. So from here, we're going to continue working the other side. And so for this side, we're going to work into our chain spaces. And so this very last stitch of our point was worked in a single crochet. We've chained 3, and now we're going to go into our chain space right next door. We're going to go into that space with a single and 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. And from here, we're going to chain 3 and jump over to the next chain space. So this long stitch here is that treble. Just underneath it, we have a chain space, and that's what we're looking for. So we're going to go in there with a single and 2 doubles, just like that. We're going to chain 3, come down to the next chain space. This long stitch is that treble. We're just going to go right into this chain space right here with a single and 2 doubles. 1 and 2. I'm going to make a bunny ear here, just kind of show you what that looks like. Okay, so continue on with this, and I shall see you at the end right here in just a moment. Okay, so I am back. I've crocheted the other side, and this is what our work looks like. Very, very nice. And so I'm at the end here, and so to finish off, after we've chained 3, as you can see right there, we're going to place a slip stitch in the head of the very last stitch. So this is a treble crochet here, and this is the head of that stitch. So what we're going to do is insert our hook right here into the head of that stitch. We're going to draw a loop and slip to close, just like that. And from here, we are going to chain 2, grab our scissors, and we are going to cut a tail, pull the hook away from our work, pinch and pull down. And there you have it. Very, very nice. So that is it right there. I'm going to take a moment to sew in my ends. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I've sewn in my ends, and this is what we're looking like. This is the mini-me version of the larger shawl, which is what I'm going to show you right now. Here it is. Again, this was done with Red Heart Super Saver ombre in the colorway light blue, and my project took 2 entire skeins. And so this is the part that goes around the neck. This is the increase side, and here is the border, which you can see here. Very, very nice. So that is all I have for this tutorial. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to do all the things. Hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already, and then of course share the video. I would definitely appreciate the support. So that is all from me for now, and until the next one, take care. Bye.